little early. Of course, this is Biology 100 for non-majors. Now, if anybody's in here who's actually a biology major, or in public health, or in biochemistry, this is not a class for you. Okay? It's a GE, right? And people in science majors in general tend to have to work a bit harder than other folks. And so you don't want to waste a GE. You're going to have to take Biology 101 or Biology 106, 107, and that'll count towards your degree, and this class won't, other than eating up a GE. Okay? So, this is only for non-majors. Just want to make sure you kind of understand that. Let's see, what's my name? Oh, my name is Maury Beck. People call me Mo. Mo. Anybody want to? You can call me Mo. Mo. Good. Okay. People have called me other things as well behind my back. Starts with an A. Don't call me that. Well, not to my face anyway. Behind my back is fine. I won't know it. What happened? This thing just went away. Oh. Okay. Oh. God. Yes. I don't know.
That's you?
You do? Okay, good. Okay. I'll have to order a new one. Anyway, so my office is kind of across the street diagonally. That way, it's called Chaparral Hall. It's on the second floor, 5218. I'll have office hours there. From after class, probably I'll be there for, at least an hour and a half or so. Now, if you need to see me, at other times we can make an appointment. Okay, so make sure that if you have any questions about anything and you want to talk to me, that you do it, and not, like, well, I'm too scared of the professor. I know, I'm a huge guy, I'm kind of intimidating, right? And so you might want to think, oh God, what happens if he gets mad at me and throws me against the wall? I won't do that. But, of course, Napoleon wasn't a tall guy, right? And he conquered Europe, so maybe I will be, intimidating if it's useful for me. But anyway, I'm on the second floor, 5218. So let's see, I guess from 2 to 3 by appointment, whatever. Also, you can email me if you have any questions as well. Now, there's no textbook at all, but there are these chapters that are posted on the Moodle page. Everybody in here is used to Moodle? Okay, who isn't? Who doesn't know anything about Moodle? Okay. Going to have to learn, because that's where all the class website is. In fact, I'll show you. So this is of course the syllabus. As I mentioned, we don't have. Oh, I know. Let me go back there one more second. Okay. Now, there's some other things going on too. There's two kind of educational tools I'm using. One of them is called Top Hat. It's kind of like Clicker. Everybody has to sign up for it. It's $20. It's you can access it with any kind of device, including just a regular old phone. Most people have a smartphone of some sort, so you can do it that way. And all it is I'll post some questions on stuff that we've covered, and people will go ahead and answer them. If you answer it you get at least half a point. If you answer it right, you get a full point. Okay? Now, usually I open the top hat in class, and then from there, people start answering the questions. And also, I sometimes leave it open, some of the questions open for a period of time. Okay? Many of the questions are the kind of questions we'll have on an exam. So it's very useful in that regard. Go back. So, you sign up, just go to that website on the class Moodle page, and it'll take you, and you'll be able to sign up. Probably next week I'll kind of open up Darwinian snails, just to kind of show you how to get started. Okay? Now, okay, each exam is worth 40 points. The other exam is on the other page, except for the final exam, which is worth 55. Top hat, worth 50. Each question that you answer correctly is worth 1 point. Each answer that you answer incorrectly is still worth half a point. Symbios are 25 apiece. Meiosis explored is extra credit. You have a total of 300. A lot of you are probably concerned about, you want to get a good grade, right? Some people come into my class and say, how do I get an A? And I say, if you work really hard, you might get a B. And they go, what? I mean, isn't there a way to get it? And I say, if you work really, really hard, you might get a C. And then they complain some more, and I finally go, if you work really hard, you might get a D. Okay? To do well in this class, all you have to do is have some decent study habit and learn the material. And then you'll do well. It's really an easy class if you put even a little bit of time into it. Okay? You can see what the grade structure is. Anything 70 and above is a C. 70 and to basically 75 is a C. 75 to 77 and a half is a C plus. Goes the same way for everything else. Okay? So there should be lots of B's and A's in this class. Withdrawals. As you know, the first 3 weeks you can withdraw from a class. Make sure you withdraw, because otherwise it'll leave you in the class, and then it'll show up that you didn't withdraw, and you'll get what's called an unauthorized withdrawal, which means that's an F. So if you're going to drop the class within the first 3 weeks, this is the second week already, then you can drop it, and that's all there is to it. You just go online, drop the class, and whatever. After that, it requires a little bit more reason for dropping besides failing, let's say. So you get sick. A bad reaction with LSD or something like that, right? Okay, I can understand that. That's understandable. If you have a really bad reaction and you kind of, the whole semester goes kablooey, that's a medical withdrawal, and you don't have to pay a penalty of an unauthorized withdrawal. Okay? Similarly, during the semester, if, let's say, a family member goes crazy and you miss some amount of class, withdraw under those conditions as well. And then finally, after like the 14th week, I guess, it's just medical. You have to come up with all the, paperwork that shows, time in the hospital, doctor's note, all that kind of stuff. There's a process and a form to go through. So if you're going to drop out by the end of next week. Otherwise, I don't want you to drop out. I'm not saying drop out. Just make sure that you protect yourself. Okay. What's academic dishonesty? I never heard of that term. What is that?
Plagiarism.
Yeah, plagiarism. Okay. Anything else? How about a cheat sheet for a test? Okay. So here's the deal. I'm really into evolutionary biology. And you're thinking, what does this have to do with dishonesty? Well, many interactions between individuals of the same species or different species are what's called antagonistic. That means they're kind of like, I win, you lose, that sort of a situation, right? And it's your job in terms of dishonesty, let's say on a test, if you can do it and not get caught, you win, right? You do. Now, it's my job to actually catch you. So it's kind of like an antagonistic coevolutionary game where you try more and more to actually outwit me, and I get better and better at actually catching you. Now that's kind of how a lot of evolution in action works. Let's say a cheetah is chasing a gazelle. The faster the gazelle, the less likely the cheetah is going to get. So only those cheetahs that are super fast are going to catch gazelles and leave offspring. Right? And for the cheetah, the gazelle obviously has to run faster than the cheetah. And so only those gazelles that are fast enough to escape the cheetah leave offspring as well. So it's this evolutionary arms race. It's the same thing with dishonesty. Okay? That means, now, I would say it's better if you just don't cheat, right? And it's better just to learn the stuff, and if you don't understand stuff, come see me. So we can reach an accommodation. But otherwise, it'll just be like an evolutionary arms race, and I'll be out to get you. Okay? Just so you know. It's kind of a fun game, actually. I kind of enjoy it. Okay. Okay. Classroom community. Okay. You can have all the devices you want. I don't care. But they have to be used for class purposes. In other words, you realize the Fed is not going to raise the rates, and Wall Street is going to go up. And so you realize this in the classroom. So you get on your smartphone and you go talk to your broker and you say, buy this, buy that. Okay. That's not part of class work. Of course, if you give me a small percentage of your gains, I might overlook it. Okay? So, kind of a quid pro quo. That means you do for me and I'll do for you, the scratching each other's back. Though it doesn't actually involve physically scratching each other's back. I just want you to make sure about that. Apparently, it's looked down upon nowadays. And then there's this whole thing about equity and diversity and sexual assault and all that, which is important, right? I don't want sexual assaults occurring in my class. If you do, I will get really mad, okay? And I'll report you. Now, there's also all these other things called, like, anybody ever heard of trigger warnings? Okay, that means you say something that you're not aware is offensive to someone else, and they take big offense. And so in this class, I'm going to talk a lot about sex and death. You might say, why? Well, that's all about natural selection. The whole idea is to have as much of the former and avoid the latter at all costs. Eventually it's going to get you. Or, now some people kind of put the two together, but it's not advised. Don't put sex and death together. It's just not. There are some animals that do that, like black widows and praying mantises, where the female actually eats the male. Humans don't generally do that. Okay? Okay. Now, so anyway, that's kind of like I could say, well, there's going to be a trigger warning. Well, for me, a trigger warning really means a pistol. So if I'm going to use a trigger, it's going to be with a gun. No, not going to do that. No guns in this class. We're not in Texas. Okay. Oh, there's also something called microaggressions. With me, there's never going to be a misunderstanding. If I'm going to be aggressive, you'll know it. Okay? It's going to be right out front. Okay. Now,